Hello Space Fairies! If my voice sounds a bit weird in this video, it's probably because I just spent half an hour trying to impersonate Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy for a video that I will actually link to in the description in case you're interested. But yeah, I've basically lost my voice now. Cool. So for this painting talk, I'm actually going to be painting an actual space fairy from my brain space and answering some questions from you guys on Twitter because it's been like 3 years since I did one of these. Whoops. First up, favourite art style from anything, show, another artist, etc. There's a few art styles I'm really into, which actually inspire different aspects of my art. I still don't really have this definitive style of my own, aside from ridiculous portraits, but when I'm working more on digital stuff, then it's usually massively influenced by Abby Howard for different facial expressions, Steven Universe for backgrounds, Noelle Stevenson for body shapes and poses because they look so fluid and lovely, Brian Froud for, just general madness, and Kinney Art or Quinny Art for colour and texture. She has a great Instagram, go check that out. Favourite Netflix series, or one that has affected you the most? I think by default I have to say Orange is the New Black, simply because it's the only show where I actively take the day off work to binge watch the new seasons on the day that they come out. I've done this 2 or 3 times now, and I'm starting to think my boss just expects it. What's it like to live on your own? How is your hair so beautiful? Okay, let's tackle the first part of that question. I actually don't live alone anymore, but I did for 2 years, and the only major difference was that I couldn't watch as many crime dramas or sci-fi as I used to, because I love sci-fi, and one of my favourite shows is Criminal Minds, which can be quite scary and violent, because it meant that when I came home from work, and it was dark, and I had to go into a dark house on my own, it was just in my mind, there was a 1000% increase in the number of murderers and aliens hiding in shadows in my house. Whereas now, I have flatmates, and so I assume, or at least I hope, that if there are murderers or aliens in the house, they'll WhatsApp me first and warn me. What's your favourite episode from Steven Universe? I think just a few of the typical popular favourites. The Answer, Mr. Greg, basically anything with a musical number, or anything with Lion, or Peridot, because Peridot is hands down my favourite character. Any plans for upcoming videos or just events in general? Well, I want to do way more fan art painting talks, and I'm thinking of doing one of those video a day months. I don't know which month yet. That would be quite difficult because I do have a full-time job, but it's at least something that I want to try. Also, what I'd really love to do is way more reviews, so talking about my favourite movies, my favourite shows, even ones that are super old now. I kind of want to review them in hindsight and just talk about why I love them so much. But I also want to do a lot more comedy and a lot more sketches and improv with different characters, so you've seen The Two Mums, like that but with other characters. As for events, I will almost definitely be at MCM London at the end of May, and Summer in the City in August, so extremely come and say hello to me, please. Best movie you've seen this year? Get Out. That wasn't me being rude, it is called Get Out. What are your top 10 favourite songs from musicals? Ooh, okay. This is kind of off the top of my head, so it will almost definitely just be songs from musicals I've listened to really recently. Moses Supposes from Singing in the Rain. Tell Me Lies from Cats Don't Dance, which if you've not seen it, is a 90s animated musical, which is basically the plot of La La Land, but with animals. Mean Green Mother from Outer Space from Little Shop of Horrors. Little Girls from Annie, because I'm a sucker for a really good villain song. Fancy Free from Top Hat. Lovely, classical, big, sweeping orchestralness. No one else was in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. So that one from Hamilton. He Lives in You from The Lion King. That is the second one because there's They Live in You and then there's He Lives in You, and I just really like it. Sweet Transvestite from Rocky Horror Picture Show. I would love to perform that one day, by the way. I'd love to play Frankenfurter. I would also love to play Max Bialystock. They're my 2 musical theatre dream roles. Oh, My Eyes. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Very, very good. And My Eyes is another good villain song, I guess. And I don't think I can really end a list without mentioning A Lovely Night from La La Land. And those are the ones I can immediately think of. Maybe ask me again in a year and it'll be completely different. I have wanted to get back into art but was always told I wasn't good enough. Should I bother trying to make something or focus on other stuff? Right, I was also told I wasn't good enough once. So my year 7 art tutor told me, and her exact words were, "You'll never get a job in art." And to be fair to her, at the time, the art job I have now, it didn't even exist. So I say just kind of do what you want. If you enjoy art, keep doing art, and one day someone might come along and invent YouTube, and then you're kind of just away laughing. Least favourite dinosaur? Dilophosaurus. Thanks, Eddie. You've had a horrendous day and feel like you want the earth to swallow you up. What's your go-to comfort food and film? Ooh, if it's a film, Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. But at the moment, my comfort thing to watch is just Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I have a huge crush on Andy Samberg. And the meal would be what my mum calls kiddie tea because it's all the food that kids wish they could eat all the time. So like turkey dinosaurs, curly fries, spaghetti hoops, chicken nuggets, all of that. Art and artists to inspire you and what motivates you. Oh, so many. I can't remember them all standing here in this voiceover booth, so here are some covers from graphic novels I love, and I will be making a full video about that soon. What cartoons did you watch as a kid? I was a full-on Nickelodeon kid growing up, because I missed out on things like Powerpuff Girls, and I have no nostalgic attachment to Cartoon Network shows at all. Because we just didn't have that cable package, we didn't have access to Cartoon Network, so I couldn't watch it. But Real Monsters was and still is my favourite cartoon. It saved my life once, and that is a story for another time. What's your favourite book? Pompeii by Robert Harris, but this frequently switches to Dead Famous by Ben Elton or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, depending on which one I happen to be reading at the time. And last but certainly not least, favourite Disney movie? Emperor's New Groove. Every time. But also technically Star Wars, I guess. And Wreck-It Ralph is a very strong contender because I can kind of jump into that at any time. And I once watched it 7 times on one long-haul flight. Thanks for the questions, everyone. I'm looking at my phone now and I actually got a bunch more whilst I was still recording this. So if your questions weren't answered, there will be another video on the way. Maybe at some point, probably. Or if you can't wait that long, I'll no doubt be stalking in the comments section, so ask away. And also just comment with any ideas of what you'd like to see me paint next, because otherwise I can promise you it will be space fairies. Bye!